This episode of On the Line is presented to you by Living.fit, your one stop for all your fitness needs. Make sure you go download the app Living.fit today. Now here's the show. Welcome to On the Line. Today is Friday, April 8th. We got a great show for you guys. We got Matt the Steamroller Frevola. We got UFC 273 preview with Skelly. But first and foremost, if you're listening on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Listen on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Stitcher, whatever podcasting platform you prefer. Hit that follow button. Maybe leave a review. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, Matt Steamroller Frevola. Awesome interview with him. Talk about how we can get him in a fight with Paddy Pimblett. Talk about his adventures in Thailand. We talk about all kinds of things. Choking people out when he was a bouncer. And then afterwards, we have a preview with Skelly. Happy to start doing this with him. Awesome preview. Good time. Good vibes. Make a lot of money. You know, all kinds of things like that. But anyway, here is Matt, the Steamroller Frevola. We are joined by a very special guest. He's a former Costa Rican amateur champion. He is the Steamroller. It is Matt Frevola. My man, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? That's a good little throwback. Those Costa Rica fights were great.
Like, nice little vacation excuse, like right after you get done fighting, just go party on the beach.
And that's how we did it.
So I was going to ask about the goatee, but we're going clean shaven, nice, clean, looking good. What was the decision to shave it all off?
Well, I was just in Texas for my brother's bachelor party, and I shaved in like some lamb chops and like a handlebar mustache. So I just got home from Texas, and I decided to just shave it all off.
Go clean, go clean. And you didn't have another rough and rowdy fight for another bachelor party?
No, not. That was a good one.
Is he gonna fight again? Are you guys gonna get him to do it again?
We'll see. He definitely wants to do it, but his fiance isn't really about it. But we'll see. I think the cheese roller will get back to the ring eventually.
I was gonna say, I feel like you're getting trained by UFC professionals. That's probably probably the best training you're gonna get at Rough and Rowdy.
Yeah, and a little scrapper.
Yeah, he is a little scrapper. It was a fun fight. Anyway, so I mean, like, I would be doing a disservice if I don't ask about the Paddy Pimblett video. How long even work? How long did it take you to make? How long did it take you to edit it? Just kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, that's the fight to make. It's a big fight. It's the fight we wanted. So, we kind of brainstormed a couple ideas, and my brother pulled up that video of him like throwing up. So we ran with that, and it was pretty quick. I just kind of shot it Thursday night, and then we had it by the weekend, and we got it out there. So hopefully we get that fight.
So I have an idea. All right, this is my personal idea, and this is something like, I think this might be what you want to do. So obviously you do that. Another thing you could do is, like, Paddy's looking for guys that he can beat. And like this, I don't know how you can spin this and look tough, but I feel like, hey, dude, I've been knocked out before. Here's me getting knocked out by McKinney. Here's me getting knocked out by, was it Reyes? It'd be like, I mean, it's possible, but little does he know you're going to go in there and steamroll him over. But like, he can be like, oh, it's happened before. You never know.
Yeah, that's why I'm hoping we get the fight. They want to feed him stuff, guys, but he needs to step up in competition. The fight makes sense, and I think we're gonna get it.
I'm not even just saying this because I do think you'd win. I think he's very hittable. I think you do hit like a truck, so I think it'll look good. But let's talk about the Valdez fight where he did hit like a truck. He knocked the guy over 5 times. He really was a representation of the Mexican fighting spirit. Was there a certain point in the fight where you're like, I'm just gonna have to choke this guy out, or like, I mean, what was going through your head throughout the course of those 5 knockdowns?
Oh yeah, man. I kept knocking him down, but then he kept getting back up, and he was getting back up swinging. But after that 4th time, I remember folding him over, and then I was beating on him, and I saw opportunity to get my hooks in, so I sunk in my hooks and was looking for a rear naked choke. And then he started defending that choke as well, but I knew that the fight was close to being stopped, so I just kept punching until the ref pulled me off. So we got it done.
And somehow you didn't get a bonus. Did Dana give you one of those undisclosed checks just for the performance he gave out, or did he kind of leave you hanging?
I mean, he gave me an undisclosed bonus.
There we go. Yeah.
It wasn't what I expected it to be.
No, and it should have been a little bit higher. It should have been the disclosed bonus. It should have been the one we all know about. But it is what it is. If you knew though that like after the 5th knockdown, you tied the record for most knockdowns in a round. If you were aware of that record, would you have laid off him and let him get back up?
Nah, I don't think so. But they only credited me with 4 knockdowns, so they said I tied it with 4. But
5 would have been the record.
Five. I really did break it. I had 5 knockdowns, so we broke the record.
We'll say you're the record holder. You are the record holder. We'll go ahead and say it. We'll put it in the record books. Put it on the Tapology page. We'll try. I'll go try to type that in. But so this is kind of a weird mental question, but I mean, obviously the fight before it was one of those things where McKinney threw 2 probably the best punches he's ever thrown. Kind of just look at the draw. Was there a certain mental aspect after the first exchange with Valdez you needed to get through to feel confident, or was there anything like that going into the fight with Valdez?
Yeah, going into that fight, I was thinking about that a lot. I was thinking, once I got to past 7 seconds, was I gonna think about something, But I really didn't even cross my mind at all. I was in there, I was dialed in, I was focused on the task at hand, and I was focused on finishing them. So I didn't really even think about it at all in the fight. But leading up to the fight, it was definitely a little bit on my mind, But yeah.
Well, once you got in the octagon, it was kind of you weren't even thinking about it, just thinking about the fight. You didn't even have no little bubbles.
Yeah, exactly. I was dialed in.
Is the cheese roll going to have to be in every single corner now that you won with him? You are undefeated with him in the corner.
I know that's what he's saying, but he'll always be the emergency corner man. If somebody can't make it, he'll always be there, and either him or my dad will jump in there.
So I'm just curious. I know you were telling a story about how you were getting kind of pissed for shadow boxing while you were cutting weight. I'm just kind of curious. Why was it so frustrating that he was shadow boxing?
Oh man, because it's just I didn't want to look at his shitty technique, and, and he's making all these noises and stuff. And I was, when you're cutting weight, you're a little irritable. So I had to tell him that, no more shadow boxing around here.
Lucky you were cutting, or else you would have probably had to lay down the law, Get a little quick sparring session and show him who's the real boss in the family.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, I mean, you got to look back at these. I mean, through your career, I mean, honestly, I feel like you've had a couple losses, like the Saryukian fight. I mean, you can look back on. I mean, you can make a case he might be the best 155er in the entire division. And I mean, you made it all the way to a decision through him. The McKinney fight it was just kind of one of those things where it's not luck, but it was just shit happens. And then you had the Reyes fight, which just kind of weren't you hurt? Didn't you have a broken hand, broke your ankle, all that other kind of shit for that one too?
That was a while ago, but. That Reyes fight, he actually popped hot for USADA.
Oh, that's what it was. He was popped
the week after we fought, and then I call him up and I'm like, so that gets switched to a no contest, and you can send me the $50,000 bonus that he got for knocking me out and all this. And then they're like, no, he tested a week after you guys fought. And then I was like, all right, so what was his results for the night of? And they didn't even test them the night of.
That's bullshit. I remember there was something with that fight. It was kind of Mickey Mouse, where it's kind of asterisk. It's not really a loss for you. It is not. You can really count that really as a draw. I think it goes as a draw. So really, theoretically, on my books, you've only lost once in the UFC. And then you also be the guy who won the PFL championship this last year. I mean, the confidence in terms, especially after this past fight, has to be pretty damn high.
Yeah, I know what I'm capable of, and I know that anybody who steps in that octagon with me, is gonna be in for a long night. So, I know what I can do.
Yeah, we all know you can do. And so, another thing. So again, obviously, you want to fight. I think in the summer. If you can't get Paddy, so let's say he ducks you. Who do you want to fight? Who is some people you have on your radar?
Man, I definitely want to fight Ottman. I was supposed to fight him in Abu Dhabi, and then he smuggled that bag in of potatoes or whatever. But who knows? I don't know if he's training. I don't know if he wants to fight. I know he was trying to get that Paddy Pimblett fight too, but I don't even think this guy fights anymore. So, but I definitely want to beat him up. And then besides that, I'd like a legend. Jim Miller, Clay Guida. Somebody with a name, somebody with some experience. I think that would be cool.
I think it also makes sense with your career too, in terms of where you're at, where you're going towards, and they're kind of I don't want to say gatekeepers, but they're kind of the gatekeepers of the steps before the rankings, because they're kind of the veterans, or they don't really have a run left, but they're kind of those guys right before the next step.
Yeah, exactly. One of those guys would be cool.
It'd be really cool. It'd be a lot of fun. It'd be a lot of fun too. Both those guys always hell of a time. So I do have a question. When you were in Thailand, what was harder? Was it doing ROTC in college, or was it running in flip flops when you first got to Thailand?
Yes. Oh man, running in flip flops was not fun. I'm not gonna lie, but also getting up at like 4 a.m. and doing PT at 0500 was not fun either. I'm gonna say they're both difficult in their own ways.
What was how many times when you're in ROTC when you just woke up just like still drunk from the night before, you're like, fuck dude, I gotta go do RT. I gotta go do PT.
A good amount, definitely. Amount.
Didn't you play lacrosse at Tampa Bay, University of Tampa Bay?
Well, I played on the club team my first year, and then the next year they brought in a legit team for their school, and I went to like the first meeting, and the first meeting they're saying like 2-a-days for off season, and I was fighting at the time. I was fighting amateur at the time. I was doing the ROTC. I was working security at nights. I was going to school, and I had to make a decision whether I was gonna pursue my professional lacrosse aspirations or my professional fighting aspirations. And I think we made the right choice. But I would say it's like the both two worst paying professional sports pick for the two things I was good at. It's like fucking great. Why couldn't I be good at football or baseball?
Why couldn't those work out? Or maybe why can't fuck? I mean, even professional wrestling might be able to get a little bit of dough, but no, so like you did. So that means so I'm assuming you were like a security at a bar. Like you were a door security. Like what were you doing to work at night?
Yeah, I was checking IDs, and then sometimes I'd be in the club just kind of dancing, watching, making sure nobody got into fights and stuff. Just classic security is.
Anyone ever try to square up?
Nobody ever tried to square up, but I had to choke a couple people out and drag them out.
Really? Did you ever put any of them to sleep?
Yeah, the craziest thing when I was working security was I was like working, and I see a guy like jump up onto like the couch with like a glass and just smashes it on another guy's head. And as soon as I saw that, I like had like a good like 15-yard sprint, and I speared the guy like right off the couch, and then I just put him right in like a guillotine, like, and put him to sleep, and then dragged him out.
So how do you so you're just carrying a lifeless body through the club, just kind of like, where'd you throw him? Just throw him in the dumpster like out of a movie? You're like, there you go, pal, or just like throw him out like through the shirt? How'd you toss him?
I just fucking dragged him out and like rolled him out.
Dude, that's so right. So that means you're doing lacrosse, ROTC. You were being door security. You were a bouncer. I mean, how did you even do school and have time to train for MMA?
No, I mean, I barely got through it, but staying busy is good, especially when I was that young. If I was not busy when I was young, I would definitely have gotten into a lot of trouble. So I think staying busy definitely kept me on the right path.
And I might sound crazy because I feel like some of my friends in college did ROTC. Didn't you guys do some martial arts though through ROTC?
Yeah, they have the Army Combatives, which is pretty much grappling and submission grappling, which was cool. I spent one summer, I got to go to West Point and train with all the West Point cadets, and they did like a whole Army's Combatives tournament one weekend. And I got to go in there and just beat up on all the West Point guys, and I won that shit. It was fun.
So now we can also have the West Point champion. This is the West Point Army Cadet Training Combative, whatever. Another championship for you.
I'll take it.
We'll take it. Another belt. And so you went to West Point, you went to Thailand, you've gone literally from New York to Buffalo. I mean New York to Florida. Like, where else have you gone in the world to train to help get better at MMA? Didn't you go to Missouri?
Yeah, I was in Missouri doing some Army training out there. I was at Fort Leonard Wood for about like 5 or 6 months, and I was able to keep training while I was out there. So that was good. I'm always trying to go back to Vegas. I love going to Vegas. Train. We got the UFC PI out there, and a bunch of good gyms out there. But right now I just kind of sticking home. I'm home in New York. I got my wife now. She doesn't let me leave for as long as I want anymore. Then I go to Tampa, beat up Billy Q down there, and then go to Vegas. So between Long Island, Tampa, and Vegas, I really got everything I need.
That's all you need. That's like the PI is one of the coolest things. Like, I feel like if you're a UFC athlete, you got to take advantage of that thing. It's incredible. It's it's one of those perks. Like, if you have to take advantage of it.
When I'm out there, I actually feel like a professional athlete. Like they actually take care of us, and like it's cool.
And you don't have to pay for it all too. It's like you literally show up, they take care of you no matter what. You're on the roster, you're good to go. You're treated like it's like going into like it's kind of shady to say, but it's kind of like when you go to like every NFL team has their own little like facility. It's like that's the one facility for the UFC is you go to the PI.
Exactly.
You need to make more. They have billions of dollars. I mean, the NFL makes billions of dollars. They have multiple. Just saying.
Well, they made one in China, so Vegas. They got one in China where they're just pumping out Chinese athletes, fighters, I guess. And then I'm hearing that they're making another one in Mexico.
Oh, I've heard about that one too. They need to have one. How is there not one in like New York? Because in New York, there's so many gyms and there's so many people who fight from especially the East Coast.
Yeah, they need one on the East Coast. I mean, whether Florida, New York, they definitely do.
There's always room to do it. There's always room to do it. So then I have one more question about Thailand. Then we're getting to my intern here who hasn't said a word. But for your like one and only Muay Thai fight, you literally agreed to do a fight at Tiger Muay Thai from one of the coaches, and he said, "Just meet me here." And you get on his motorcycle. Was there a point on the way there to fight you thought this guy might kill me?
I was definitely a little nervous, but I was ready to go, and he said, "Let's go." So. Yeah, and then he rolls up to the spot. He just points at some kid. It's like, "Oh, you fight him." I'm like, "All right." And I had like 20 pounds on the guy, but he was telling me this kid had like 50 fights. So, it didn't matter who. I was ready to fight. And, that was my first time to Thailand. And I really wanted to fight there,
Mm-hmm.
Like I was training out there for already like a month. So I'm glad I got to get that experience.
Have any plans to go back?
I always want to go back, but again,
the wife, they're clamped up.
She doesn't let me travel as much as I used to, but I guess that's a good thing.
Yes, maybe it's a good thing. All right. So as I said, my intern here has been quiet for most of the time. So this is kind of like a game. He's going to ask a series of 5 questions. If you like the question, you move on to the next one. But if you don't like the question, you have to tell him you don't like the question. And then we wrap this thing up. Easy enough?
Easy enough.
Easy enough. Harrison. All right. First question.
All right, sure. Let's get into it. So, as a former lacrosse player, would you rather take a straight right from Ngannou or take a slash from a long pull defenseman to the part where your arm isn't covered by a chest or elbow pad or a glove? Because that part's that's a bitch to get hit on.
Oh, you
like
kick that there, but I'd rather take that than a punch from Ngannou.
Yeah,
I seen Ngannou just like he's got some power.
Those guys in Jackass, I think when they got punched in the dick, dude, like I was ooh.
Yeah,
ooh.
Good. That was good.
I was watching that shit and I was like, no, absolutely not, no shot. But so following up on that for my second question, what do you think it'll take for lacrosse to stop being like seen as the douchebag sport? Because I'm a former lacrosse player, I don't see it as that, but like it's the stereotype.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, but it's a great sport. Like it's so much fun, and you could hit people. There's nothing like sniping like a nice corner, ripping a shot. But I don't know, man. It is a great sport.
I'm hoping that with the PLL being or becoming more popular going into its 4th season now, like it'll start being seen as like legitimate and not, oh, look at the lax bros out there like fucking around doing whatever they want, being douchebags, whatever.
Bro, back in the day, I used to just rock my lax penny all the time,
Yep, and got those East Coast dye shorts.
There you go.
That was a time, man. But question number 3: how much would Portnoy have to pay you in order for you to take a rough and rowdy fight?
Shit, I mean, I would say It doesn't. I mean, it wouldn't have to be more than the UFC pays me, right? Because it'd be some
I guess not. Yeah.
easy fight. I'd step in rough and rowdy for a nice like 20K. You know.
It's just 3 minutes. There's just 3 minutes of fight
Yeah.
boxing, and honestly, you'd probably get a finish by the time you get into the first round.
1 minute rounds. Like, are you kidding me? I could do 1 minute rounds. Anytime. I wouldn't even have to train.
Dave heard it here first, so get on that shit.
I don't know who would want the smoke. Actually, there is a couple guys in the West Virginian folk who would probably be like, "Yeah, I'll fight the UFC fighter. I'll take the UFC fighter."
They did anywhere over there.
They won't take anyone over there. It's a whole nother world.
Definitely.
Whole nother world.
All right, question number 4. So, what was the best reaction to a fake ID that you caught? Because, like, I'm a bouncer at a bar too, and I've gotten some interesting reactions to that. So, what's the best one you've gotten?
Yeah, I was actually the worst bouncer. Like
Really?
in the front, I would let everybody in. Like, I literally air. So but I've seen like people, like freak out in the front, like from one of my other guys wouldn't let them in, and then they would try to square up and stuff. But I would let everybody in. I don't care.
I've bartended at this like golf course or whatever, just for free golf or whatever, and I'll see someone just give me if they show me ID, I don't even look at the date. I just give them a drink. If they have the courage just to give me an ID, I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, right. I mean,
who cares?
Well, nice drink,
Yeah, it was pretty funny though. This one time, some dude came up in line and gave me like the shittiest Connecticut fake I've ever seen. Starts throwing a hissy fit, and his buddy starts going, "This guy's a Marine. He serves his country." And I go, "Show me your military ID real quick, bud." And he shows it to me, clearly under 21. I'm like, "Get the fuck out."
I had someone who used to always carry a social security number and be like, "This is my social security card. It shows this is me." And then they're like, "Oh, like, I don't know what to do." And then they'd always let them in.
People try the wildest shit, I swear.
This is number 4?
Number 5. We're on to the last one here. So, being from Long Island, would you call yourself a New York bagel purist?
Oh man, I love bagels. I love flagels though, the flat bagels.
Those are gas.
I'm a flagel guy, nice bacon, egg, and cheese on everything flagel. The egg sandwich on the bagel. Like, I love bagels with butter, some honey butter on a bagel.
Ooh.
But when you put bacon, egg, and cheese with like a thick bagel, it's still amazing. But with the thin bagel, the flagel, it's perfect.
I would have to agree. I'm more partial to like a pork roll, egg, and cheese myself. But like, I'm out in Indiana for college, and I have refused to get a bagel out here because I'm from New Jersey. I just can't do it.
No, you can't.
Nothing compares. It's actually insane how the difference in quality between East Coast and Midwest bagels.
That's how it was down in Florida. They didn't have any good bagels down in Florida.
There's so many old retired New Yorkers though. I feel like they should have like good bagels down there.
Yeah, I think it's the water here though. They like the way that they bagels with the water, and then the pizza too. Like, it just something about the water makes bagels and the pizza really good up here, I think.
Yes, sir.
I had some technical difficulties in the middle. I feel so proud of myself. You could see the little like wood behind me too. Man, that was wild. Anyway, that's what we got, man. Great having you on. So if there's anything else other than calling out Paddy Pimblett that you want to call out there and promote, go ahead and promote it.
Yeah, you guys got to tune in for my boy Aljamain Sterling, going to shock the world this weekend. I'm gonna be there. I finally got confirmation from the UFC that they're giving me 2 tickets. So
are you taking the wife?
No, I'm actually bringing my dad.
Hey, that's always a good time.
Yeah, he's always tags along somehow. So we're gonna have a good time.
Oh yeah, nothing like going to a nice fight event with your dad. Nothing like it.
I can't wait, man. I'm going down to Tampa on Thursday, and then I'm gonna get a nice sparring session in with Billy Q Friday morning, and we're gonna drive over to Jacksonville for the fight night. I'm pumped.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good card. It's loaded with good matchups.
Oh yeah, the whole card is sick. I can't wait. I haven't been to a UFC event as like a spectator in a long time, so I'm excited.
Where you guys seats at?
I don't know. It better be on the floor. No.
You should also they get the little the profile of you and Billy Q and your dad. You know, like the steamroller, Billy Q.
There you go, the crew.
The crew. All right, man. Appreciate you coming on. We'll be cheering for Aljo. We're cheering for a good card. Actually, real quick, who's your biggest upset? Who do you think, other than Aljo? Do you have any big upsets?
You know, I am on this Chimaev train, but you know, he hasn't been tested. I haven't seen him come back from adversity. You know, so if there's gonna be an upset, I think it would probably be Burns beating Chimaev.
One of those three big upset. One of those three fights. One of those guys has to win. It's just like, this is the odds, the way they work. Not all three favorites are going to win. It's just a matter of which one wins.
Aljo.
I will. I do think Aljo's being kind of like disrespected this entire fight, this entire week, past couple weeks, and like the whole knee thing too. Like, that was a hard ass knee. He wasn't just acting. That knocked anyone out.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is. All right, man. Appreciate you coming on. So for the Steamroller, see y'all. That was a great interview with Matt, the Steamroller Frevola. But I want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.fit. Living.fit is a health and wellness company that helps you achieve all your fitness goals, from losing fat, building muscle, or maybe trying something new. Not only are there workout programs, but they can help with your nutrition. They can build you out your home gym. And for all my personal trainers out there looking to get certified in battle rope and kettlebell movements, they're the place to be. So make sure you go download the app or visit the website living.fit today. Now here is our UFC 273 preview with Chaz Skelly. All right, we're joined by our friend Chaz Skelly. I got one question before we get into the card. So you're riding bulls now?
No, not riding bulls. Bulldogging. Shoot. So it's steer wrestling.
Oh.
So jump off a horse, grab a steer, flip him on his back. Basically.
Yeah.
That's badass. How long have you been doing it?
I just started. So after my fight, well, I mean, I've only practiced a couple times, so I wouldn't really say I'm a steer wrestler. I would say I'm practicing steer wrestling.
You're in the process of becoming a steer wrestler. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think I could be pretty decent at it I'm working a lot, so I haven't really been able to put much time into it, but I've got a couple friends that are really, really good. Well, there's a guy, ex-world champion, Casey Jones. He has a place out in Decatur, and we're actually, Bass Roofing's actually doing his roof. So
plug.
And my friend AP, who's the guy that I trained with when I was at Team Takedown, and we've remained friends, good friends. AP has gotten into steer wrestling recently. And after I was done fighting, he was like, "Man, you got to do this. You got to do this. It's a lot of fun." So I'm gonna give it a try. I'll give it a try. I need something to get that adrenaline dump. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I feel like what you're gonna end up doing is like, you're just gonna keep doing different things to get that adrenaline like high. Steer wrestling. That, have you ever skydived before?
Yeah, I have. I always wanted to. Actually, the only time I ever went skydiving, the only time I skydove. I don't know. The only time I ever went skydiving was when I was in California. I was actually training. I was traveling around to different gyms and seeing where I wanted to end up eventually, right before I went out to Florida to Sanford. It was Black Zillions at the time, but and I was at Dan Henderson's gym in Temecula, and it was my birthday. I was just there training for a week just to check their gym out, and it was my birthday, and I was like, well, I don't know anybody out here, and it's just me. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go skydiving. So that's what I did.
Fair enough.
Fuck it, why not? All right, let's go on and get on into this. So I think right away, you got Julio Arce, our boy, against Daniel Santos. I mean, even if he wasn't our boy, I'd say this, but I think this could easily be fight of the night with the first fight of the card, which is kind of crazy to say, but no, I think this one's going to have fireworks. Chaz, as the expert here, what are your thoughts on this one? This is one you said you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so this could definitely be a fight of the night type of fight right out the gate, which I think is pretty cool. You know, when you look at I got like a crazy glare going on my face. I need one of those ring lights, make me
you
brighten
still
me
look
up,
you
make
still
me
look
look
great.
good.
You still look great. You still
Thank
look
you.
great.
I appreciate that. I think that might be because there is bad lighting that I actually look decent. It's like when you can actually see the smug, you're like, God dang, I
God
wish we didn't have
damn.
good
Hey,
lighting.
it's natural. It's natural glow up look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing with this fight is that this guy Santos, he hasn't been super active. What his last fight was in like 2019, right?
Yeah, it was in 2019.
So he's a young guy, so it's really hard to say like what he's been doing in that time. I mean, so there's a lot of what if factors, like how has he been training? Who's he been going with? Has he been improving, or is he kind of staying the same? But I will say from watching his film, one thing that stood out to me right away, I mean, it was just like instant, which I don't know if I looked a little too much into it or read a little too much into it when I saw this, but when he fought his last opponent, the first thing that the guy came out and did was threw like just threw a jab, like a straight jab, and it like caught him and almost like sat him in a seat. The very first punch of the fight, the camera's just panning over, but the guy just like jabbed him so hard and he kind of sat him down a little in his seat. And that guy, it seemed, I can't remember the opponent's name, but it seemed like that guy was really controlling the exchange just by landing that jab and kind of stepping off, and landing that jab and kind of stepping off. And then he threw like a spinning back kick to the body and caught him to the liver and finished him. But he wasn't winning the round leading up to that. And I feel like this is Julio Arce is not a good matchup for somebody coming in for their first fight in the UFC. He's really solid. I mean, if you look at who he's fought too, he's fought really good guys. So he's one of those guys that like, he's fundamentally very sound. He's fast twitch. He's an all around good fighter. He's got good takedown defense. Santos has done a good job in the past with getting some takedowns, with like a knee pick, one nice little knee pick I saw in one of his fights, and he does a good job getting to the ground. He looks like his grappling's pretty decent when he gets there. But in my opinion, and like I said, I don't know what he's been doing. I don't know where he's been, but wrestling's kind of one of those things. Is you got to continue to wrestle. You got to be wrestling all the time for your wrestling to stay sharp. And I don't know, since he's taking such long breaks, I don't know if he's really been in the room wrestling like that. But Julio Arce has solid takedown defense too, and this guy looks to me to be a little small. I think it's a matter of time. I think midway through the fight, I don't think that spinning stuff's going to be catching Julio. I think he's going to be stepping off really nice, and I think he's going to control the pace of the fight with his jab and his straight punches. And this dude's going to get desperate and start throwing wild stuff. I think he knows that, and I think you'll see that guy look for a couple takedowns, towards the middle to the end of the first round, and when he doesn't get them, I think he's going to be frustrated. Arce's I think he's going to probably knock him out.
See, my whole thought process of this entire thing is I think one of the most underrated things with Arce is jiu-jitsu. And one of the things I think, way I was kind of looking at it, it was like, I was kind of thinking maybe Santos was going to gas about midway through the second. And if Arce couldn't have put him out like on the feet in the second, I thought maybe in the third round, based on the gas tanks, he might shoot for a takedown and try to choke him out. That was something I was thinking about potentially. But I mean, I agree with that though. I think like you can't do spinning shit if someone's just going to pressure you in your face, because Arce is a pretty good pressure fighter.
Yeah. He is, and he's got a great jab. He stays straight. He stays, straighter than Santos is going to be looking to come around the corner. Now I know it's a fight; anything can happen. He could land one of those spinning kicks. It could be over. He could land some big hooks and stuff. But I just don't see that happening. And I see that guy's a very fast twitch type guy. And when he doesn't get a couple takedowns, I think he's going to be tired and it's going to start. Things going to start changing.
So Julio Arce inside decision. I want to. What is that price? I need to pull that up real quick because I had the sub at like, I know like subs 400. Some the KO is like plus 450 or something like that. So Julio Arce to finish, I'd bet is like plus 250, something like that.
Is that what it is?
It's pretty
Why is it not
good.
showing up? I'm
That's
looking.
what it is.
Pulling it up right now. Yeah, Arce by KO, DQ, or finish. Yeah, 240 plus 240.
It's not too bad.
That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. I mean, I would take that. I mean, that's what I'll end up taking. I think. I mean, also, I think by finish, it's like there is no favorite in terms of like how the fight to finish, but no, I think I like Arce in that spot. And the only time he's been finished in the UFC, I believe, is just that last finish by Song Yadong, and Song Yadong, it's like a fucking truck. So it's
a
little bit different.
That was, I mean, Song Yadong's a stud.
He is a stud. He is a tough motherfucker. Also, his last knockout, the celebration, the whole looking thing, I thought that was funny as hell.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Moving on. What was so? You have any thoughts on Hanson Rodriguez? I got nothing.
On who?
Hanson and Rodriguez.
No, not really.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of one of those deals where I don't think Hanson's a bad fighter. I think she's hasn't necessarily lived up to the hype, her potential. I don't think Rodriguez is really necessarily I don't think she's gonna knock her out. I think Hanson's probably gonna grind her down to a boring wrestling decision.
Like a grapple fucking some sort.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not hating on it. I've done it multiple times.
You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Anything to get the dub.
I'm not hating on her. I not trust me.
Anything to get the dub.
Anything to get the dub. All right, next one we got Hernandez and Frem coming into the UFC. Hernandez coming off one of the bigger upsets against Rodolfo Vieira. I think this is like the first. I'm excited. I like Hernandez. I think he's a fun fighter. Friend also kind of a pretty promising prospect. What do you have on this?
Yeah, so this is one of those fights too that this is an interesting one. Oh, I'm throwing a dip too. This is an interesting one because Friend is actually solid. He's solid. He's got really good fundamentals on his feet. Like when you watch him fight, he is what would you say, meat and potatoes type of guy? Is that a good saying? Or like
he's from the Midwest, so yeah, that fits. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, he loves meat and potatoes, obviously. His mom cooked every supper. So he is a guy that'll come out and he's going to use his jab and he's going to get his range with his jab and he's going to use that to build. He throws some kicks in there every now and then. I saw him throw a little spinning back kick too, but nothing flashy. He's a very vanilla style fighter that it works though. That stuff works, and he has some wrestling in his background. But I don't think he's the necessarily better grappler in this fight. I think so. What I watched when I was watching this film is that his jab is very good, but every time he throws it, he drops his right hand significantly. I'm talking like when you watch him in his film, his right hand every time he throws is coming just almost, unless he changes that, it's coming like almost down to his waist. It's very apparent. And I saw him get hurt and dropped to the left hook. So I think I think that Friend is probably going to come out and win the first round or the first part of the first round, the first half of the first round, possibly even the first round, just behind that jab. But Hernandez has a good chin. Hernandez has a good gas tank. He's got pretty decent wrestling and he's got good grappling. His wrestling's not necessarily good, but it's like good enough to get people down. And I could see Hernandez, Frem's going to be a little more technical on their feet, but technical doesn't always win, I think I can see Hernandez getting in his face. And when you throw punches and bunches like, it tends to, you're going to land, I think, with the way that he drops his right hand. I think a clean left hand will land. I also, in the second and third rounds of previous fights, I saw Frem started to, even when he was striking, he really started to look a little labored with his, like he would throw his jab out and everything was just kind of, I think Hernandez has a good gas tank. I think what's going to happen is Frem's probably going to come out and win the first round on just being very technical, very, very good technical striker. Hernandez will push him against the cage and start looking to work wrestling and grind him down. I think in the second round, he's going to start getting this fight to the ground. I think he's going to win it on the ground.
It's that Mexican dog in him. It's that Mexican dog in him. Like, you can't take that. You can't.
Yeah, I think he's going to stay on him and grind him down and end up winning on the ground. But I think he could catch him. Frem has gotten hurt in like most of his fights. Like when he gets clipped, he gets hurt. I'm given he's a 185 pounder, and some of his fights he got hit clean. And he recovers well, but he does get hurt a little bit.
And Hernandez hits pretty hard. I mean, there were some shots he had against, like, when the Rodolfo Vieira fight. There was probably like 5 or 6 different shots that really probably would have knocked anyone else out just for Rodolfo. I don't know. All of a sudden, he just didn't want to go down. It was incredible. It was incredible. Yeah. Hernandez has some pretty good power. Yeah. It was a great fight. So no, I'm with you on that. I mean, Hernandez. I think he finds the finish. I think he finds it somewhere in the second or third round.
Yeah,
I also think he can knock him out. I think Kevin Holland's the only one to knock. It was the last one to knock him out.
Yeah, he did that with a body shot too, though.
Yeah, it was a liver shot.
Like, yeah, he hit him with the knee in the body, right?
Yeah, something like that. It was weird. I think he broke his ribs. I think that's what it was. And then something on that. But anyway, Hernandez, we're on the same page here. Friend of the program parlay, Julio Arce, Anthony Hernandez is plus 132 money line. So if you
I'd hammer that home.
Want to support the friends of the program, I'd hammer that one all day, every day. All right.
Like that.
I like that a lot. Olenek
bet that right now.
Bendera. I mean, you're a friend of the program. Got to support the other friends of the program, you know?
Exactly.
All right, Olenek Bendera. I feel like it's just Olenek sub or bust, but I feel like the sub is pretty highly likely. Like I don't know which round, but I mean, maybe first round, easy, quick finish.
Maybe.
Well, so there's a lot of tricky ones on this card because there's a lot of factors.
Yes.
Olenek, it's like he's looking like a 50-year-old man, however old he is. I don't know. I don't know how old he is.
He's looking like someone who's fought almost 100 fights.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, he's never been like a physical specimen. Have you heard his walkout music?
No.
It is like it's like a Russian opera.
Oh,
it's like not good, but he's a super nice guy. But his walkout music is
dog shit. There's some walkout music that just doesn't make sense. There's a lot of like walkout songs. I'm like, how does that get you hype?
I was out there listening to the overture of 1812 or whatever the hell.
Yeah, he listens to like some Beethoven, just like just out there listening to Seventh Symphony. Like
he looks like he kind of always reminds me of like Uncle Lester and Uncle Lester.
Yeah.
And, what's that? The Addams Family?
Yeah.
Just always like kind of slumped over to. But he is actually a super nice guy. Well, he fought. I think we fought on the same card. My last fight, maybe, or the fight before, and I'd asked him. I asked him if he could show me his Ezekiel choke. He never did.
Oh, asshole!
Oh, no,
all right.
I mean, there's no way he would ever give that up. That's kind of his thing.
Well, I did ask him in the airport.
Nah, it's kind of hard to showcase that in an airport.
And it was in the middle of COVID or whatever. So he's
like, you don't want the TSA agent swarming you guys. Like,
he's like, break it up, get the fuck away from me. I'm like, oh, sorry. And he little language barrier too. He's kind of like, I don't know, dude. I don't know what you're saying. Shut up.
I know nothing you talk about.
Ja nie говорю по-английски.
Okay, but I think he's going to have a hard time getting the takedown against a guy that big, and his takedowns are sloppy. If he gets him down, I think what he does is he pushes him against the cage and then kind of drags him down. Gets that. He does a good job of like grabbing that head and arm from against the cage and locking it up there, and then just kind of dragging people down with it. I can see that. Honestly, I'm probably going to regret this, but I've got Olenek submission.
First round? Or just probably. Full fight? Because I think it's like plus.
I would say full fight. Full fight.
Right? I mean, it's not a bad bet.
No. Chances are he's going to get hurt at some point and then have to roll around and recover, and then so that might take a half a round. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't want to say first round.
It'll be. I think the best way to describe this one, it'll be funny. I think it'll be a funny.
Yes.
Fight. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I respect it. I like Olenek actually.
No, I do
always-
too. I
always
think
love
his fights are
watching him.
fun. I think
Because
his
I'm
fights are
like,
fun.
man, this guy, I wonder if he pulls some crazy submission this time. I love that shit.
Remember when he put Derek Lewis pretty much like 2 different chokes and probably would have finished anyone else not named Derek Lewis. Just Derek Lewis's jiu-jitsu just doesn't make sense, like street jiu-jitsu. It just doesn't make sense.
He just bench presses people off of him. He's like,
Literally, it's absurd. He breaks every rule of MMA. He just doesn't follow any of the rules. It's so funny. But
yeah, he's just so big and strong. He's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he's a beast. He's a beast. All right, next we got Mickey Gal, Mike Malo. I don't know. He's Canadian, so it might be French, so it might be Malo. I don't know. Anyway,
Malo.
Malo. Malo. All right, Chaz, what do you got here? I think Mickey's gonna win just purely off the statistics of he wins, loses, wins, loses, wins, loses. Last time he lost, so I just think he's gonna win.
Roulette guy, huh?
Yeah.
I see.
Spin.
So
I mean, why not?
people, so all right. This is a tough one too, because when you look at the film on this one, Mickey's striking isn't necessarily the greatest. You know, it's not horrible or anything, but it's not the greatest. He's grown up in the UFC, so you never know what you're going to get from one fight to the next. His first, you know, like was his first pro fight in the UFC or something?
I think he had one, and then he was an Ultimate Fighter guy, right?
No, he fought CM Punk.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So
I think that was like his 3rd fight was against CM Punk.
oh, was it? So yeah,
I'm gonna look it up right now. You do your thing, and I'll give you the.
He's grown up in the UFC, and he has great grappling, jiu-jitsu, but not the strongest wrestling per se. So he's been out at Sanford though. I wasn't out there. I didn't train with him at all, but he's been out at Sanford in South Florida. So 2 things, you know, that are going to improve in his game, his striking and his wrestling at Sanford. They work wrestling a lot and striking a lot. So, you know, that those are going to be 2 areas that are going to improve. And right there at 170, his weight, he's got a lot of really good guys to work. He's got Gilbert Burns to work with, Jason Jackson, you know, Logan Storley. I mean, there's actually I could sit here and name 170 pounders at Sanford all day that are just really, really good guys. I don't want to do it because then if I miss one person, they're all going to be like,
past. Yeah.
yeah.
We gave Bellator some love. We gave Bellator some love. You know, there we go.
Well, I mean, just those people alone, though. Like, think about just if you take Logan Storley and Jason Jackson, if those are your only 2 training partners, well, there's wrestling and striking right there.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, I mean, if you're going with those guys, you're going to get better. So the thing with Malo or Malad or however you say his name is that he's just like Frimmed. I feel like he comes out, he's very technical, but he keeps his hands up. He's very technical, but the one thing that he does really, really bad is if somebody pressures him and throws in combinations, he almost gets lost and turns away from it. Like he gets kind of lost he'll start kind of reaching and not turning away like he's scared to get hit, but like he doesn't react with like a solid counter or get you off of him. He kind of like shells up. And if you watch his last couple fights, I mean, it was not his last fight where he got the guillotine, but the couple fights before that, I felt like what was that guy? I think he knocked the dude out. The guy threw a naked kick and he knocked him out. But all the way up until he knocked him out, that was like his only solid punch of the fight. All the way up until he knocked him out, the dude was just piecing him up. And the reason is because all the guy was doing was crowding him and throwing in combinations. He would throw like 3 or 4 punches and the dude was just like, you know what I mean? Like kind of one of those deals. Yeah. So I think what Mickey needs to do is pressure him, stay in his face, throw in combinations, and land some shots. If you feel confident on your feet, good. But once he starts getting lost, then look for your takedown real quick. Boom, 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 takedown. Don't shoot a naked takedown. You know, don't shoot from a distance. Don't try and get him down because I think he's out of alpha male. He's a well-rounded guy. He's got decent wrestling. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's got good striking, but he does have some holes. And I think that Mickey is just going to be able to. I think that this will end up on the ground. I think Mickey might be the better grappler, so I'm looking for Mickey Gall to win this on the ground. But I think Mickey Gall's going to win.
I'm with that too. So I was right. The third fight was CM Punk. His first fight ever was dead serious 17 against Ron Templeton in 2015. So
nice.
Yeah. He don't also no
Ron Templeton.
Classic Ron Templeton.
I'm Ron Templeton. I'm 170 pounds. Put me in there.
Want to hear a blast from the past? You know who his fourth win was against? Sage Northcutt.
Oh,
what a blast from the past.
Nice.
Oh my God.
You know, I lost one of the most money I've ever lost in a fight card was the fight card where Sage Northcutt fought Zach. What's that guy's? I don't know. And then Zach something. And then who else? Oh, who's the guy who got hammer fisted from the Randy Brown? Brown lost to Nico Price.
Yes. He got hammer fisted while he was on the ground.
I had a lot of money on Randy Brown and on Zach whatever because I thought that Zach dude was going to be able to just completely out grapple Sage. I thought that was a lock, which he did the first round and completely gassed. Shot a low single and Sage like just hammer fisted him while he was on his knees. Lose that one to a hammer fist.
Oh no.
Too much money. Then it goes Randy Brown is dominating Nico Price. Got him down, just winning the fight. I'm like, all right, we're cruising here. Nico Price hammer fist him from the bottom and knocks him out. And I'm like,
you know what's funny is I had Randy Brown on before his last fight. Oh, we'll just do the same link. I had Randy Brown on before his last fight, and he was saying how he had some like crazy ninja choke, and he thought he was going to performance bonus, and then that's the fight you threw the flying kick, and he was like, "Fuck, I lost my performance bonus." So I guess you can call that even. You can call it even.
That's funny. No, I've actually, as far as betting is concerned, I've always liked to bet Randy Brown. Because we trained together out in Arizona. Well, we didn't train together, but the UFC used to do this thing where they would take people out to a gym and performance center in Arizona, and they would put us there for a week and have us train with those guys.
Yeah.
Exos, I think. But so I was there with him, and they did like all of our body composition tests, and that guy scored like a perfect score on like body composition stuff, and I was just like, dang, this dude's an athlete.
He's
Randy Brown's an athlete.
His last fight too, when he hit Gooden with that front kick and broke his toes in the fight, and then still found a way to just piece that guy up for the entire fight. That was ridiculous.
Yeah,
that was nuts.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's solid. He's man. Really solid. I like that guy. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's super nice. I love it.
Straight up athlete for sure.
Next fight, Aspen Ladd, Raquel Pennington. You got anything on here? This is also barring the fact that Aspen Ladd makes weight. We're doing this the night before. She misses weight, so there's a chance she might miss weight.
Well, I don't have anything on this fight.
All right.
But if I had to guess, I would say I think Raquel Pennington's gonna kind of grind her out.
Another grinder fight. Another women's grinder fight.
Yeah. But no, I don't have anything.
Yeah, neither do I. All right. Next one. Heavyweights. Kind of surprised this is not in the main card. It is Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Marcin Tybura. I think Jairzinho is kind of being underestimated here. I think he's like in this weird situation where I think he's a very good fighter. It's just like he's just not as good as the other heavyweights, but he's so much better than a lot of the other heavyweights in the UFC. He clipped Blades a couple of times too. It's not like he looked like a bum against Blades. He clipped Blades a couple of times, and I think he even swollen. He shut Blades' eyes shut. So.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good against Blades.
Yeah, so like I think the line here is kind of weird. I think Rozenstruik's going to win by knockout, even though Tybura has taken some shots. I think Rozenstruik's a great kickboxer, and I don't see this going to the ground.
Rozenstruik's going to win by knockout.
Yeah, he has such good kickboxing.
Another thing with he's got the better kickboxing. Tybura's had a hard time with the really heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Now Tybura is this is what I would do. Hear me out. I would place your bet on Rosenstrike by knockout. Okay. And then I would hedge that bet by Tybura by a small bet, Tybura by submission.
I actually kind of
We'll see
I
if
like
he
that. I
can,
kind of like that.
because he's gonna, in my opinion, he's gonna be looking for takedowns. I don't think he's gonna get him. I think he's gonna get knocked out. I think that Rosenstrike, even if he gets taken down, Rosenstrike will be able to get back up. I think he's gonna be looking to grind, make Rosenstrike get back up. I think that should be his game plan because he's a little more well-rounded. Like, he can take people down and grind them, and he can submit people. He's a little more well-rounded than Rosenstrike, but Rosenstrike's the better striker, and they're both strikers. So I don't know. Scratch that last part. Don't put him by submission. But I bet the submission odds are like really high.
Oh, got to be stupid. I'll actually let's find out real quick. No, that's the thing. Like, what was it? Rosenstrike did pretty well against Blades, and as we've like kind of established, Blades, especially at the last performance, he doesn't even need his kick. I mean, he's had pretty good kickboxing. I mean, at least against Dawkins. His takedown defense wasn't that bad against Blades. I think, what was the fight? 29-28 unanimous? Was that the way it was?
I don't know. I don't remember how it ended.
I just remember it was pretty damn close. And it came down to a couple takedowns in the third round for Blades to secure. All right. So if you want to get stupid crazy, Rosenstrike by sub is plus 2,000. But no, Tybura by submission is plus 1,200.
No.
That's
a long shot.
Yeah, Rosenstrike by KO 125.
I think Rosenstrike. What is it?
Plus 125.
Oh, that's what I'm hitting right there.
Yeah, that's money. That's some money right there. All right, the next one we got. Actually, I want to pull up the odds for this one real quick, just because this is one we talked about a minute earlier before. Don't have a whole lot of thoughts on it. It's Ian Gary, Darian Weeks. You trained with Ian Gary. I have a question. What do you think about his grappling?
He's got really good grappling. I mean, he's a solid young guy. You know, he's a good, well-rounded fighter. So he's very well-rounded. He's charismatic, good-looking, young, charismatic, marketable, well-rounded. Why would they not want to set him up for success?
I agree. I think that's what they're trying to do with Weeks. I think that's what they did with all these massive favorites. Out of all the massive favorites, I don't technically rank him as my highest in terms of being upset. There's someone which we'll get to in the later rounds, but no, I think it'll be fun. Actually, I don't think there's gonna be a finish. I think this is gonna go all 3 rounds. I think it's gonna be a dogfight. So that's kind of how I feel about it. I was gonna actually see what the decision is, not taking either or. I think Weeks is kind of durable though. I think he fought Pickett last or something like that. Whatever it was, he got hit by a couple good shots. I thought was gonna put him out, and he's stuck on his feet. So.
Yeah, so I didn't actually get to watch the film on Weeks, so I don't know much about him. I watched about half of his last fight or something, and then I had to go, but I didn't really get to watch much of.
Yeah, it's plus 150 to go to decision. I hate betting to go to decision, but I kind of like it here. All right, main card time. This is also now where Harry gives some fun facts for every single fight on this card. So we got the first one is do you know, is it Vince Pichel or Vince Pickle? You know,
Vince from Hell Pichel.
Vince from Hell
Pichel. Pay the price.
I don't know why I keep fucking that up. And then Mark Madsen. So anyway, all right, Harrison, fun fact from this fight.
Fun fact. All right, hang on, let me pull this up real quick. So Mark Madsen is an Olympic silver medalist in Greco-Roman wrestling. So he should be able to grapple fuck Vince pretty easily this match.
And that's kind of what I was gonna ask. It's
yeah.
How does this not? How do we avoid a grapple fucking here, Chaz?
Yeah.
Well,
that's the question.
I think so. There are some intangibles in fighting, and if you look at Vince Pichel, look at his record. I mean, look in the last. Well, he's lost one time in his last how many fights? Mm-hmm. It's not like he's fighting bumps.
No,
he beat Jim Miller. He beat Austin Hubbard, and that kid's solid. He beat I'm just off the top of my head. I don't know. I'm not like looking it up. But he's got some solid wins. And one thing that a lot of those wins have in common is that they were dirty, grimy fights. He's a grinder. Like I say the word grinder, but he's a very underrated guy because he doesn't have like the best. His takedown defense is horrible. He doesn't have good takedown defense, But one thing he does do is he continues motion. He doesn't stop. He tries to get up. He continues to fight. He continues trying to get up, and he doesn't like concede the position. He continues to work to get up and keep the fight moving. So even if he's losing, he's still working to get up. He's still working to fight. It creates a lot of scrambles, and it creates grimy situations where people are starting to get wore down a little bit, and he can end up on top and end up, back on their feet. And I even used to think that his striking was so kind of robotic and rudiment, but it's looked a lot better. He's got heavy hands. I think that you're not going to be able to so much avoid him getting taken down. I think Marco Madsen should be able to take him down if he really tries. But I think where he can make this an exciting fight is if he just doesn't concede the position and continues to get up and stays in his face. And, because I think he knows he's going to get taken down, sometimes. And so he's just like, all right, I'm mentally ready to continue this action and get back up. Having said that, he's not so hard to take down. And I think Mark Madsen has good cardio. It's going to be one of those things where it's like, what happens here? He's going to have to clip him in the interim. He's going to have to clip him on the way in. Mark Madsen's also a Greco guy, so he's not shooting for legs. He's looking for body locks and to get people down like that. So Vince Pichel's got a good, strong upper body too. I mean, I'm sure he's, the cage changes a lot of things. It takes away your hips and stuff. So once you get those body locks, it is easier to get people down because you can hold them, your hips, it takes away your hips. I think that Mark Madsen wins this by decision, by wrestling him, taking him down, getting him down, and holding him down, or
that's kind
continuing to take him down.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. He's one of those. That's one thing I do like about Pichel from Hell. He doesn't concede the position. He keeps trying to get up. He's a grimy motherfucker. But I just think he's gonna get up, and then like 10 seconds later, he's gonna get taken right back down. It's just.
I think so. I think it's going to be a lot of takedowns.
Yeah, could it maybe a record?
Maybe
a takedown record in the making.
Maybe.
Well, that depends on what you consider a takedown. The UFC, I don't know who does their stats, but that person needs a class. Like takedowns aren't like redrops. If you take somebody down and they stand up on their feet and then you pick them up and put them back down on the ground, but you got their back, that's one takedown. That's one takedown and a mat return or multiple mat returns.
It's the same thing with knockdowns too. Like Matt Frevola had the most knockdowns in a fight, and they only gave him 4 and not 5, so we want to break the record. Like it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know who does those stats, but they need to realize that a takedown is when you take somebody down and then you gain control, not just they sit to their butt and pop back up either. If you take somebody down, boom, you take them down, they're just right back up. To me, that's not even a takedown. I mean, it's
you need to stay down for
at least like a couple seconds of control, like at least 5-10 seconds of control before
control time.
Some kind of grabbing or some kind of lock.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? You'd like to see some grabbing down there. I wrestled in high school. I loved it.
Yeah, that's why I wrestled.
Greg,
I wanted to feel those grabs.
I was super into spandex. I can't explain it.
It's just something that got me going every Saturday. Every Saturday,
singlets, man.
Just hundreds of boys in singlets.
Man, at a tournament, oof.
All right.
What's the first thing? The first thing that people ask me, like young wrestlers' parents or anything, they're like, "What can we expect? Like wrestling? My son just started wrestling. Like, what should we expect from wrestling?" I said, "Expect any bathroom at a tournament to be completely destroyed. Do not walk into a bathroom at a wrestling tournament. It's going to be a lot of nervous. It's going to be about 500 nervous kids standing in line, just blowing it up back to back."
Always. It doesn't matter where in the country it is. You can always expect that.
Yeah. For sure. No doubt.
It's so true. All right. Next one, we got Mackenzie Dern to Cia Torres. I know like Dern's stand-up isn't that great. And her takedowns, I mean, maybe she doesn't have as great takedowns as we thought after the last fight with Rodriguez, but I don't know how this isn't a submission win for Mackenzie Dern. Chaz, please convince me otherwise.
Tisha Torres is a solid fighter, like a solid fight. She got solid fundamentals. I'm just on the Mackenzie Dern bandwagon. I see it same thing. I think Mackenzie Dern's going to out-grapple her, and her grappling, her submissions are just like head and shoulders above a lot of these other female fighters in the division. People just can't hang with her. Or I mean, I say female fight, a lot of fighters. I mean, not just female fighter. I mean, her grappling is really good. So, you know, I wasn't trying to just classify her as only a female grappler. She is a grappler and an excellent one at that. I do see her. I see her dragging it down and winning it on the ground. I mean, she's a beast on the ground. And Tisha Torres, she's a wrestler. You know, I think that there's instinctually she's gonna probably at some points want to. She is a wrestler.
Yeah, she's a wrestler. She'll want to go for the takedown.
Yeah,
and then she'll probably get caught in something that Dern pulls out of her ass or something. I don't know. She might do some crazy. I don't know.
You know what I could see though with this fight. Unfortunately, I could see it being one of those things where Tisha Torres realizes that she doesn't want it on the ground, and she runs around the cage the whole time and kind of is trying to point her the whole fight.
Just try to point fight the entire time.
A lot of motion.
Yeah.
It's a good strategy in this fight for her if she can do it. But I see Mackenzie Dern cutting the cage off at some points and finding ways to stop her motion and getting a hold of her. So I got Mackenzie Dern. I just, I think she's solid.
Too. I think we're on the same page on that. We've been on the same page on a lot of these pretty much. I mean, I feel like we haven't really disagreed on a whole lot. And then I think this is where we're going to start. We got Gilbert Burns versus Khamzat Chimaev. I want to preface by saying I am on the Chimaev train, but I think this line is just stupid, disrespectful to Gilbert Burns.
What is it?
I think it's like a plus 400 Gilbert Burns, minus 500 Chimaev. Is that you with Del Reno? Yeah.
Let's go, Gilbert!
Let's go, Gilbert! I feel like there's just so many like people are saying there's so many unknowns with like Gilbert. There's so many unknowns with Khamzat. Like we've never seen him chin tested. We haven't even seen him really tested in the UFC. I mean, Gilbert's only been knocked out at 170 once by Kamaru Usman, who's the only person to knock out Jorge Masvidal. It's like I don't understand why this line is as big as it is, and it just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't either. This is Thug Rose.
Thug Rose.
Get out of here.
Nasty ass.
So yeah, I don't understand it either. Chimaev, he hasn't been, like you said, he hasn't been tested, and Gilbert is a tried and true, workhorse. Gilbert's fought a lot of good guys. Gilbert's been up there in the rankings for a long time, and I'm sticking with my boy Gilbert. I think this is going to be one thing. If Chimaev stays long on his feet and does it like that, that could change things. Gilbert hits hard though, and his chin hasn't been tested. I think Gilbert needs to get in there and really initiate the grappling exchanges. Gilbert needs to get in there and look for his own takedowns. Chimaev's a good wrestler, but he was like in Sweden, like what he was like third in Sweden or something.
Yeah.
Is that what he ended up? Is that his only accolades in wrestling? I'm not saying that's, Shy got taken down by Mirsad Bektic, who's probably never even wrestled a regular match in his life. I'm not proud of it, but it happened.
It happens.
So, that doesn't really matter in MMA. George St. Pierre was never a wrestler, and he's one of the best MMA wrestlers, out there. But one thing that does matter is that when you take people down, if they can continue to get back up or they can work for sweeps and stuff, and Gilbert has some of the best jiu-jitsu in MMA. And so he's got some of the best sweeps. He can always get up. I just don't. Chimaev's not going to be able to do to him what he's been able to do to some of his past guys that didn't necessarily have the best jiu-jitsu. And the only guy that he really fought, I feel like did have pretty good jiu-jitsu. He hit him with a straight right off and put him down. What's that?
Gerald Mearshart. Yeah, he hit him with a flash KO. I feel like, yeah. No, you go.
So to me, Gilbert, I'm rolling with my boy Gilbert.
I mean, I am too. I don't want to take my finish just because the odds are already so great on Gilbert, but I still will. It's like plus 800. Like, why not? Like, just for him to finish. But I just think the crazy thing is, like, they think like Hamza has to come out there and just fucking flash KO him. I just don't see that happening. It just doesn't make sense. Like, all again, like everyone in UFC, if you're ranked, like you have to be good. And like Li Jingling, like, yes, he is good, but in terms of his wrestling, it's not that great. They set that up for Hamzat, I feel like, to make him, kind of explode the star power. Yeah. And like, it was a perfect example of putting a ranked fighter who really didn't have that great ground game, put him against a guy who has an elite ground game, and there you go. So I just think it's a lot of recency bias, I feel like, in it. I feel like it should be a lot closer than it is, but I'm excited. I'm really excited for Gilbert. And people forget he did drop Usman like very early in the first fight. So just want to point that back.
Yeah, for sure. Usman, who's pound for pound the best fighter in the world right now. Mm-hmm. So don't sleep on him. For sure. I can't believe the odds are like that, but
it's stupid. It just really is stupid. Every person I've listened to talk about this fight too. I was listening to like a couple coaches talk about like Eric Nisik and like Tyson Chartier. They were all saying it too. Is like, this just doesn't make any sense at all. It just feels like it's all public opinion that's boosted these odds. And if you like watch the sport, you're like, why?
Yeah. I mean, whatever though. Whatever. Gilbert goes out there and does his thing, and if Gilbert beats him, it's not going to derail the hype chain.
No, it'll just be like it's just a stepping stone. I mean, not stepping stone. It'll just be another, just like an obstacle, and he'll come back.
Yeah, I mean, Gilbert's a top 3 guy or something. I mean, it's not. I don't know what he's ranked right now, but
I think he's ranked number 2. I think number 1 is Colby, then him, and then Leon.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not gonna ruin the stock of Chimaev if he loses this fight. So,
but it does get him a title shot.
Yeah, realistically, yeah, and realistically, Gilbert's a dog for taking that fight. It's a dangerous fight. But in my opinion, I think that they should have matched up Chimaev with the most underrated fighter in the UFC. Can you guess who I'm thinking of? A matchup at that weight, the most underrated fighter in the UFC.
The most underrated fighter in the UFC. I'm blanking because
He fought Reese. He just fought.
He just fought, and he's a welterweight. Oh my god! Yeah. I feel so stupid right now.
He's beaten ex-champions.
I feel so stupid right now because I want to say Leon, because Leon. I feel like Leon is
Neil Magny.
Oh yes. The guy
they should have matched him up with Neil Magny.
Yeah, they should have matched him up with Neil Magny.
But I'm not saying I don't like this matchup, because I love Gilbert, watching Gilbert fight, so anytime Gilbert's fighting, I'm all about it. But I just feel like that would make more sense because Magny was like calling for the fight forever. Mm-hmm. Magny's like, let me
almost a year now he's been calling for it. Yeah.
Wait, whatever.
It is what it is. Gilbert's gonna go in there and get the job done. Let's go on and move on to the bantamweight title fight. We got Aljamain Sterling, Peter Yan, Chaz. Go ahead. Let's see what you got to say. I have a pretty strong opinion on this one, even though I like both these guys, but
I like both of them too. And I've been a fan of Funk Master for a long time. I've always really liked his fights. I've saw him, I feel like he's progressed really well with like the way that he's added those, like some funky kicks to his game, and done a good job to do things to open up his wrestling from his striking. Yan I think he's the best at that weight class right now. I think with the way that the first fight went down, it would be hard to go with Sterling because he was clearly losing. And he was going to lose the fight. I just have to go. As much as I want to say Sterling, because I'm more of a fan. I like him. I like his style, being that I'm a grappler, and I got to go with Peter Yan. That's who I think is going to win the fight. I think it's going to look a little bit like the first fight, but I actually think Peter Yan's going to be a little more aggressive on his feet. And I think he's going to be more successful in this fight than he was in the first one.
I'm like the exact same way. Like I like Aljo a lot. I honestly think Peter Yan is the pound for pound best fighter in the UFC.
He's really good.
He's so good. I mean, I just think it's also one of those things where usually in the first round or so, when Aljo was getting some of his better shots, usually Peter Yan takes about a round and a half, 2 rounds to really feel out his opponent, especially now that he has 5 rounds to work. I don't think this is the first time we're going to see him with the rematch. And I don't think he's going to use that like he normally does. I think, as you said, he's going to be a lot more aggressive. For some reason, I think it's going to go the distance unless I don't know. I think Aljo has a pretty decently good chin. He's been rocked by a couple really good shots, but I think Peter is going to I think Peter would also rather put on the damage based on what he's been saying. But yeah, I like Aljo a lot. But it's just hard. It's impossible for me to pick against Yan. He's just so good. Another
thing too is with the whole, like you said, what they've been saying, the whole mental aspect of it. And I don't know Aljamain Sterling. I don't know where he's at with all of that. He seems like he's cool as a cucumber, but
yeah,
those Russians, man, he comes out and he's talking trash and everything, but they're so like stoic and like, it seems like game time. He's just like no emotion.
Yeah.
He has no emotion. So that's, to me, I hope Aljamain doesn't go in there. I hope he proves me wrong. But I hope he doesn't go in there emotional.
Yeah.
I hope he really goes in there emotionless and just fights clear-headed instead of being like emotional, like, oh, I can't fucking stand this guy, blah, blah, this stuff from the first fight. And he's been dealing with that for a year and this and that. I hope he just goes in there relaxed and does his thing. But, I have the feeling he's going to be a little more emotional than Peter Yan, just based on genetics. Those Russians, they just are just like
they're Terminators,
little machines.
They're
like
fucking Terminators.
You're like, I don't know what it is.
They just have no emotion in their face, and they just fucking hunt you down and beat you.
Yeah,
I think a lot of us are on the same page. It's just you want Aljo to do better. It's just hard. So let's go on to the main event. Volk, Korean Zombie. Now this is kind of crazy. I'm going to sound, originally this was a fight, in my opinion, like of all the favorites, I did not think there was any chance in hell Volkanovski was going to lose. He was the only one I would actively say, like, if I had to pick one of the favorites not to lose, it would be Volkanovski, even over Peter Yan, just because Aljo he has such a great jiu-jitsu game. But last night, like 2 nights ago, or maybe it was last night, I don't remember. But anyway, I did have this dream. I had a dream Korean Zombie clipped the fuck out of Volkanovski and put him to sleep. And I was like, what the fuck did I just see? And so now there's a chance, like, I might be a future seer. I might be able to see the future. So I'm not as confident anymore as I was before this dream.
You sound like right now, you sound like my girlfriend when she wakes up in the morning, she's mad at me. She's like, I had a dream last night. You pissed me off.
It seems so real. It seems so real. Like, I was drunk. I was watching the fights. I was just like, what the fuck?
I was drunk. I was high, and I had an epiphany.
And I was just like, what the fuck? I saw the disappointment in Volkanovski's face. I was just like, what the fuck? It's like, what did I just see? I saw like the Izzy tweet. It was just like, oh my God. It was just like, it was so real, like in my mind. But no, like I love Volkanovski. Like, they're talking about finishes. I don't see how this fight gets even finishes either. I don't think he's going to submit Korean Zombie. I think Zombie can take a beating. This feels like another potential decision.
I'm on the same page there. I do think that Volkanovski, he hits like a truck. He's got a chin on him. His wrestling is really, really good. I'm all the way Volkanovski on this. And I like the Korean Zombie too. But I mean, for some reason I'm just feeling, I've been screwed on these bets, these under bets, like, I don't know, over under. So I bet a lot of money on the under Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't hit that, and that should have hit. And I bet the under on Volkanovski versus his last fight
Ortega.
versus Ortega. I feel like that should have hit.
I had Volkanovski by finish too, and like there was like the fourth round when they helped him get up. I was like, no, fuck that. That's a finish.
Yeah, I thought
you should help him up.
I thought that the fight was going to be ended after that fourth. I was like, yeah, but so I'm an under guy. I'm a sucker for it. I think Volkanovski can clip him and get the finish. So I'm going Volkanovski and the under. I'm sure the under is probably 4.5. I don't know what it is, but
I would assume it's at 4.5, probably like minus 130 or something like that. I don't know.
It's hard to say. Yeah, but I like the under. I like Volkanovski.
All right. So if you had to go, so we've gone through the card. If you had to go and pick your favorite bet off this card, the one where you're like, we don't say the lock word on the show. I'm actually going to bleep that, but we don't say the L word on the show.
Yeah.
We sent. Well, if you had to pick one pick, you're like, I'm pretty damn sure this is going to hit. Which one are you picking?
I really like Arce.
Okay.
I like Arce. I like that Arce Hernandez parlay.
The friend of the program parlay.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes, sir.
Good parlay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a solid parlay. I like Arce. Any other bets that I really like?
I kind of really like the Gilbert value. In terms of value, I think Burns is
yeah. I mean, a good shit. You could always do the old Mickey Gall Gilbert Burns combo parlay.
The Sanford parlay.
That'd be like a crazy payout.
That would probably be upwards like plus 1,000, just purely off the Burns one. Yeah.
That'd be like when I told my dad, I fought on the undercard of Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, the first one. And I told my dad before, I said, hey, put money on, was it Miesha Tate to beat Holly Holm?
Yeah.
The big underdog. I was like, parlay Nate Diaz and Miesha Tate. And I was like, just put $100 on it. And he was like, all right. So after my fight, I went up there to sit with them. And the main card was about to start. I was like, hey, did you place my bet? My dad, he's like, oh shit, I forgot. And then it comes around and they both win. I was just like,
man, devastating.
Son of a bitch.
Devastating. I think and I was also going to ask, like, if you had to pick one of these big underdogs to win, I think we're on the same page of that. It's Burns. Like that.
Yeah, obviously I got Burns, and then I like Mickey Gall. Mickey, I don't know what the odds are. I know he's a dog, so I like both of those.
It's probably like plus 200, something around there for him to win by sub. Yeah, something like that. That's usually about what it is. All right. Both of those. Yeah, so that's what we got. I mean, I think we're on the same page for pretty much most of this. So that's UFC 273. You guys got smarter, maybe dumber. I don't know, but see you guys in a second. All right, that was an awesome breakdown of UFC 273. Now you're all prepped and ready to go for the fights this weekend. Awesome card, as we said. But let's go ahead and wrap this thing up with our medals for the weekend, and we'll close out with some shout outs. So let's go ahead and get into the medals. I'll start with my bronze. My bronze is golf. All the golf academies, golf courses across the country. Pretty much this is the time of the year where everyone thinks to themselves, wait, they just go out there and hit a ball with a fucking stick? All right, I can do that shit too. And then they go out there and realize that golf might be one of the hardest sports in the world to play. But
easily, the
golf game, this is the time of the year where it gets super popular. Everyone buys in and everyone wants to like try it out. And also like everyone thinks they can be Tiger. But yeah, those golf courses rake in the money. So bronze medal goes to golf.
It's like people who are pretty good at Call of Duty waiting for the Christmas kids to come in. All the easy stuff coming through.
Exactly.
So my bronze medal goes to darty season because.
Are you in college?
I mean, the MLB. Oh yeah, that.
No, I just wanted to make sure.
Can't you tell?
Just wanted to make sure. Want to make sure.
Yeah. No, it's darty season again officially. MLB's back. Weather's getting nicer. I mean, it's the perfect time to just break out a jersey. Probably MLB. I got 2 Phillies jerseys in the closet waiting for this moment. Break out a table, some red Solo cups, a few ping pong balls, a couple cases of beer. Perfect weather. Let's get it.
I mean, I can't remember the last
time. How can that not be a bronze medal?
Cannot tell you the last time I wore a jersey. Not like to a sporting event. Yeah, just day drinking. Love day drinking, but love day drinking. All right, let's move on to our silvers. My silver medal goes to bowling. You know, if you're thinking, why the fuck we talking bowling? Well, if you live under a rock or not on Twitter, there's this bowling video that is being posted in all the reply boxes. Just go ahead and look it up. Just look up bowling pin Twitter. It's a great video. Definitely will make you laugh. But bowling is back, so Southern Middle
Yeah,
goes to bowling.
that's certainly something you could say.
Do I get bonked for
I,
that? Is that a bonk-worthy kind of a thing?
I think that's a little bit
I
of
think that's a bonk.
bonk worthy.
I think that's a bonk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a
It's
bonk.
I saw the full video for the first time yesterday, and I was horrified. It was like a train wreck. You couldn't look away, but
It's like True Girls One Cup, man. This
oh.
is 2022's True Girl One Cup.
At least it's not. It's nowhere near as graphic as that though, which is a good thing. But that's some middle school memories popping back up. Just
Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
re-traumatizing.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, you're silver medal. You're silver medal.
My silver goes to the city of Philadelphia because every single day, people in that city get to wake up and think, "Wow, Joel Embiid is a Philadelphia 76er," and that's the best thing we can possibly get. Because I mean, last 2 games he's scored around 80 points. I mean, he dropped 45 on the Pacers and then 40 something against whoever we played before the Pacers. I completely forget. But
How many wins do the Pacers have?
oh, it's somewhere in the teens, right?
Yeah,
20s.
they might have 20 wins. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not just saying. I'm just saying.
No, it's totally fair, but like still dropping 45 points, that's still impressive.
It is
Let's see
impressive.
here.
I won't deny that.
The Pacers have 25 wins. Not too bad.
Oh,
Not too bad.
man, I thought we were tanking better than that. That's an
I
improper
mean,
tank job. That's an improper.
yeah.
All right, what plumbers did they play next?
The Plumbers that we play next.
Oh no, who were the plumbers that they played before? I know you guys play the Raptors tonight, but who'd you guys? Who else did Joel drop?
Oh, it's Cleveland.
Oh, and they're all hurt.
They're all hurt. Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah.
They're a feel good story. They're gonna lose to the Nets in the first round. In the play-in tournament, they're fucked.
It's the Cinderella story ends there for Cleveland.
Yeah,
they're nothing without LeBron.
No, I wouldn't say that. They have some good young talent. They got hit by the injury bug.
Yeah,
they got hit pretty hard by the injury bug. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and Harrison. I want you to give your gold as well, and then I'll.
Yeah, because you got something special for this.
I got another special one. Yeah, I'm loaded up on specials.
So my gold goes to Tiger Woods because he is officially back. I mean, he's shooting 1 under right now. And did you catch the video of him going, "Oh, fuck off," live on TV?
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched the entire thing.
Tiger's back in peak form, and that's just good for the sport of golf.
The best thing too is Tiger thinks he can win. That's the best part.
Exactly.
And that's why he's playing so serious. Like this is not Mickey Mouse. This is Tiger Woods truly thinking he can win. So we're gonna get like real Tiger. If he starts falling apart,
he wants another green jacket. Like, let him get that.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be the year. He's gonna win another. He's too good.
It's just a matter of time.
But just thinking about a year ago when he like literally almost lost limbs, and now he's playing in the Masters. He's 1 under. Crazy. It's crazy. And also helps the golf game too. Now more people are gonna be like, "Oh, he got in a car accident last year and like almost died. All right, I guess I can go golf."
He is the king of the comeback. What can you say?
Yes, he's definitely king. I wonder if he started having more affairs. So let's move on to our gold medal, or my gold medal. It goes to Josh Mandel, U.S. Senator. So in his latest campaign ad, he wanted to prove that he wasn't racist. So he photoshopped his face onto a body of like black soldiers. I think I should point this out. He's white, but he literally put his face on a black guy next to a bunch of soldiers to prove he wasn't racist, but he was too stupid to change the hand color also to white. So it's obvious that he photoshopped his face on this to prove that he wasn't racist. So my gold medal goes to U.S. Senators not being racist, Josh Mandel. Congratulations, my man. You got a gold medal, probably not for what you wanted, but congratulations, dude. You're not racist. I bet you have a couple black friends too, so good job for you. Let's go ahead and move on into our shout-outs. I want to shout out Kevin Durant. He continues to be a fucking menace. He literally ran up to a couple kids after the Knicks game. They were like, "Yeah, Kevin Durant." He's like, "Take that fucking shit off." He just told them to take their jerseys off because they're wearing Knicks jerseys. So shout out KD. I love his interactions with the fans. He's if he never went to Golden State, I think he'd be a lot more beloved. He's such a troll, and I love it.
I agree. I actually completely agree with that. And man, he's really brought his reputation back around after the whole scandal of him going to make a super team, and It's just funny as hell watching him do his shit on Twitter.
He's what we all wanted. He's what we want every superstar to be like. Is just
Yes.
speaks his mind, and people bitch about it. But I haven't seen as many people bitch about it lately. I think a lot more people are Team Durant.
Now, people have realized that he just doesn't give a shit. And if he doesn't give a shit, why should everybody else? Just let him do his thing.
Let him do his thing. All right. What about you? Got any shout outs?
No, I don't have any shout outs right now.
No shout outs for
used
Philly?
them all up for the. I used that for the Joel Embiid stuff. So
All right.
use that for that.
All right. Well, that's what we got for the show. Obviously, I mean, we kept this part short and sweet. Tuesday, dude, I got to figure out how to fucking schedule better. I don't know what we're gonna post. We have like 4 interviews done. I'm trying to figure out the best way to schedule it. But we have some awesome interviews on the way.
Got some heat coming out.
We do have some heat coming out. I would say Ray Cooper is going to be coming out on restart. Yeah, so that's the show. We got some awesome interviews coming up next week. We're getting back into the NFL, dipping our toes back in. We got some more stuff coming for that. We're not going to talk baseball because no one who cares. But we'll have our recap of UFC, and that's that. That's the show. We'll talk to you guys next week and enjoy the Masters. Congratulations, Tiger Woods, for being back. That's the show. Peace. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around with me all the way to the end. I just want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.fit. If you're looking to better yourself, make sure you go to download the app or visit the website Living.fit today.